Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bullhucker Podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Jen Russ.
And Jen Nebb is back in the house. What's going on, Jen?
Oh, not much. I've been keeping busy trying to deal with the darn heat. It's darn hot out. I'm wearing less clothes than I ever have on the podcast.
You said when you got here, you're not going to pull a Janet Jackson on us.
That's right. I hope not, because if I do, y'all might be just horrified.
And here's the thing. I was going to play big and tough like I was a mind reader, but this is like the second or third time we've had to do this because I'm me and I didn't push the record button for the fifth. It's happened like 4 or 5 times in the past 3 episodes. It's I'm getting dumber and dumber. But if you do pull a Janet Jackson, we picked an emoji to put over it.
Yes, we have decided that we're going to put a target over it.
Because I'm gonna protect her purity. Here at the Bullhucker Podcast. That's what I do.
I'm my super purity.
You got a hold of me a while ago and said you had found someone to come do the podcast. And you said you found her because you were listening to her stories in the bar and you were rolling. You were loving it.
Yes, I wasn't 1 minute. I asked her one question. She wasn't 30 seconds, 1 minute into her story. And I said, just stop. Do you want to be on the Bullhucker Podcast?
Save it.
Because, everybody needs to hear this story. So,
Mikayla Marcoe, how are you?
I am doing well. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. This will be fun.
I feel kind of bad because we're here in the Brush Emporium at the Bullhucker Studio. First time here for you.
My first time here, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there is some art. We talk about Missy White. I got some more to put up. Some of it, that's my dog over there, my old dog. He passed.
Angry dog.
Yeah,
old dog, yep.
Yeah, he's an asshole, but he was my asshole. That was that. So,
an angry asshole.
But we were at the Brush Emporium that's in the basement. I felt bad because you got a hurt wing.
Well, leg, but yeah. I one crushed it down the stairs. I didn't fall though, so
you didn't fall. You hung like a champ.
Yeah.
I mean that's
Larry didn't carry you.
No, well,
oh my.
You know, I didn't want to break anybody.
No, you ain't breaking anybody, bro. You ain't breaking anybody, bro.
I don't want to break any more bones for nobody. Believe me, it's not fun. I only got one crutch.
You only got one crutch. My uncle's had knee surgery. So it's funny because I got to grab him and kind of pull him down, and he hates it. He absolutely hates me having to hug him and bring him I got you. I won't let you fall. I won't let you fall. He doesn't trust me though. He's only known me for 48 years now, But
that's how I am with men and two-stepping and country swinging. I do not trust them to be able to hold on to this amount of gravity at any point in time.
So one point in time you got to have some trust, Jen.
No.
No. Are you a two-stepper?
No. I don't dance. See, that's how that's done. I just, no.
Yeah. Can you push that a little away from you? Just a little bit. There you go. Because
bucket in my mouth.
You're getting over it. There you go.
I'm trying to mouth the microphone over here.
It's all good.
How are you doing?
You're not the first one, so I'd stay a little away from it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it's not a virgin microphone. I'm just telling you right now. So yeah, it's dirty. I'm kidding. You bartend at the Queen Lounge.
I do. I do bartend there.
Before we go any further, I'm going to tell you, Nick and Amy, you need to come do this podcast.
Get them on here, yes. It'll be fun.
Amy said she would. I need to get back there. That's on me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure I'd get back with them, and they'd be more than happy to.
Those two are busy all the time, man. They got 10 things going on at once.
Yeah, they're busy fun. Yeah. Busy good.
But you are a bartender there. How long have you done that for?
I've been bartending there for about 4 years now.
That's cool. Very cool.
Really?
Yep, going on 4 years.
Isn't that strange that we've never crossed paths?
I know, this was the first time.
And where are you from originally?
Originally, I was born in Grand Junction, so on the western slope.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. Well, before we get going any further, in case you are new to the podcast, welcome to the Bullhucker Podcast. What this podcast is, it's a podcast where we bring on a guest. Today's Mikayla. Mikayla's going to tell us 3 stories about her life. Now, here's the kicker. Only 2 of these stories are true. One's actually either made up, all the way made up, it's a borrowed story, or it's halfway made up, half true, half false style. Now, Mikayla, without going into great detail, what is it? Is it a borrowed story? Did you all the way make it up, or is it embellished?
It's a halfway.
Okay, we'll say embellished.
Embellished.
Okay,
halfway story.
Part true, part not.
Yep.
Those are the most popular ones.
And they're the ones that are the hardest for us as well, because there's so much truth to it. All you have to do is tweak one thing.
That's it.
That's true. I think the borrowed stories are tougher.
They are, because you could slip up just one thing, and oh man.
But the broad stories are tougher because it is a true story. It's just somebody else's true story.
Right.
So that's why it's tougher. But at the end of the podcast, Jenna Russ, by the way, that's her rap gangster name.
Jenna Russ?
That's right. Like Toys R Us.
But with a J. With a J, because she's a classy lady.
Yes.
I was going to guess and see if we can guess which one it is. So welcome back, Jen.
Yes, thank you.
It's good to have you back.
I love doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our paths never cross anymore, so.
Oh, I don't know why. Maybe I should get a job out where you work.
You should. Maybe you should come work at the Emporium.
Ooh, that'd be fun. I could throw some pizzas down.
Pizzas. They now have pizza, chicken wings. They do ice cream, frozen yogurt, and they have I'm losing the cakes.
Funnel cakes.
Funnel cakes. Thank you.
Yes,
they do the funnel cakes.
And if you haven't been to the Brush Emporium, it's some of the best pizza this county has to offer everybody. So
is it good?
Yes,
it's amazing.
I'll have to try it. I've heard about it. I've heard it's good.
It's very good.
And you can shop while you wait. All the cool little stuff up there is so cool.
38 vendors. 38 vendors.
All upstairs?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
that's cool.
A little everything. So when you're crutching your ass back up there, you're going to have to walk around.
Take a little detour.
Yeah. I'm excited to have you on, Mikayla, because I was a bartender for years and years.
Yeah.
So is there any bartending stories here?
Actually, there's not.
No?
I left the bartending stories out of it. I've had plenty, but I couldn't pick from one.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. You and I, we're gonna play a little game, and then we're gonna talk a little bartending shop after this.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Have you ever bartended?
Fun. I bartended at Old Solomeo
for
a very long time, and I got to brag. I came up with their signature tiramisu martini.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still one of the top sellers at their other restaurant.
Really?
In Greeley.
Yeah, in Greeley. Oh, yeah. That's good food.
Oh, so
it's great food, yes.
Italian food, dude. It's where it's at. Mm-hmm. If you've ever been
that was good.
You ever go to Sterling, go to, Sam and Louis?
The one on, is it on Main?
Kind of, yeah.
That is good, too.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's so good. The lobster bruschetta there, I have dreams about it at night. Yeah, it's so good.
Now I'm going to be dreaming about it. Let's go to Sterling.
Right after the show. We're hitting the highway.
All right. Mikayla, you ready to tell some stories?
Let's do it.
Let's get it
I'm ready.
All right. Jen, you haven't been here so long. You want to read those off for us?
You betcha. So the titles of the 3 stories are, Moose in the Outhouse. Do you two know each other from prior?
Moose.
I mean...
It's Moose and it's a shit story, so obviously...
It's definitely a different kind of moose.
Yeah, okay.
Moose in the Outhouse.
She came at me, definitely, yeah.
Coyotes in the Mud. And... Just Doggy Style.
There you go.
I'm so excited to hear all 3.
There you go.
I'm just realizing they're all animal stories. No.
That's cool.
Or they're all animal titles.
We can't wait.
Ish.
Just Doggies. Okay. Well, I already know which one I want to hear, but I'm going to let you go and pick first, Jen. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead, and I got to hear Moose in the Outhouse off the bat.
This is my dad's favorite story. Okay. Well, so... Right after we had, my mom and stepdad had gotten married, when I was 10 years old, we had moved to Alaska.
Oh, what part?
The North Pole, which is just right outside of Fairbanks.
Literally where the North Pole, where everybody sends their Christmas letters
Santa Claus,
from their children.
Everybody, the whole shop is there. Mom sends me pictures. She sent me this last year because they moved up there again back in August, and so of last year. So they sent me some Christmas pictures with Mr. Claus and
fascinating
the reindeer.
What do you think the post office does with all those letters once I don't want to ruin it for children.
Do you think they would have like a special box for like all the Santa Claus letters, or they just ship them to the North Pole? They might just ship them to the North Pole,
or they give them to Santa Claus because he's real. Because we don't know the age of the listener, Jennifer.
That's what I'm saying.
Santa Claus got to get them somehow. Yes, that's why we got to figure out how they're getting there.
That's right.
Yes, and then he sits and reads every one of them. That's why he's so busy and has all the elves.
After he's done, though, there might be rolling papers. Let's not bullshit. So
that's right.
It's definitely rolling the papers.
You know he's getting high with those elves, man.
He's got to be doing something to pass time. I mean, he's got a whole nother... 11 months?
That's it. Getting stoned with the... I don't smoke weed. I can't because of my job, but I would probably do it if it was some elves. You know what I'm saying?
You would have to. What? Smoking weed with the elves and Santa Claus. Oh, I'd be sitting on Santa Claus' lap with the joint like, how you doing?
That's right. With that sexy Mrs. Claus walking around. God,
for some reason, I think I've been in that realm, but not on marijuana.
Anyway, please continue.
Where was I? No,
your family had moved to the North Pole.
And I was 10 years old. No. So, one thing that's up there a lot is the moose. Right. And one of the first experiences when we had moved up there was for Christmas, we had received some red sleds. And behind our duplex, we had a nice little sledding hill, and we were going to take out these sleds for the first time. And we go out there, and we come around the side of this building and come face to face from me to like the wall of a mama moose and 2 babies. Okay, and they're very, very protective.
Danger.
That is like danger. And I don't know if it was just so sudden or if they had just been caught off guard or what. My dad flew up his arms and was all like trying to get him to run around. And my sister and I, we ran all the way around the side of the duplex and all the way up the 20 stairs of our house, like just terrified because we'd never seen anything so big. You know, they're huge animals. Well, needless to say, I was scared of moose.
Right.
We go on this camping trip, and on this camping trip, it was a nice old-fashioned log cabin. You had the old-fashioned lovely outhouse, okay?
Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere, this thing has probably never, ever been cleaned, been touched, nothing. So you can imagine, with as old as this place was, how bad this outhouse stunk.
So it was a terrible outhouse.
I mean, the outhouse was awful. I mean, just old, you know, out in the middle of the boonies.
What time of year is this?
There was snow on the ground. It was just after Christmas, so January.
Okay, but it's not like July where it's nice and ripe. Okay.
No. This was in the middle of
ripe.
This was like this cabin. We had to like bust open the door. You know, there's ice and stuff. Well, anyways, we had been up there at this cabin sledding all day, having a blast, and I had to go to the bathroom. And I'd gone out, and I'd been gone for about 15 minutes, and my dad was inside with my mom and my younger sister, and they were sitting there. My dad's like, hey, you need to probably go check on Mikayla. She's been out there for probably about 15 minutes. Don't you think something's up? Yeah. My mom, she's like, no, just give her time. You know, she's a girl. She's doing her thing, doing whatever. Meanwhile, I'm out in the outhouse, sitting in there, looking through the cracks in the wood wall, you know, just barely looking through, because I swear I'd heard a moose. I'd heard noises out there, and I knew there was one out there, and there's no way I would be going out there facing this moose again by myself.
Right.
So your plan is to hide in the tiny outhouse.
That stunk like it was so bad. Right. So I'm sitting there, 30 minutes go by. And my dad's finally just told my mom, you need to go out there. There's something. She's out there. She's been out there for 30 minutes. Right. Go check on her. My mom goes out the door, and she hollers, Kayla. And I finally come busting out, because, you know, the third call, I should be fine. It's all clear. Mom didn't see anything. I come busting out. Come running down, and I face plant in a big old pile of snow. And there was no moose.
Right.
No moose. So I'd been stuck in this outhouse in -degree weather, 10 years old, freezing my butt off, dying of the stench, afraid of nothing. There was nothing out there. I'm just sitting out there for fun.
What were you hearing, though? You heard
something.
There
was noises. Oh, yeah. But there was nothing out there.
Well, and I imagine it's that weird crackling in the trees from the snow.
Anything, anything. Snow could have fallen off a tree or a rabbit. It could have been Thumper.
Was it like a noise, like an animal noise, or like
it was? It was like a rustling noise. You know, any kind of noise you could have taken and ran with it. Thought it could have been the boogeyman, and I was just sitting there, and for 30 minutes I sat out there, and I was not budging. And who knows how long it would have been had Mom not come out and rescued me. Right. But at the end, I ended with a face full of snow, and I was pissed off and scared.
You see the movie Tremors, where they don't know what's eating everybody. The movie Tremors, right?
Yeah.
But they catch the one guy. He's climbed up a telephone pole with a shotgun. And they don't know why he's there. He just died up there. That'd be the Mikayla. Just died in the shitter.
Exactly.
He's up there. I don't want to go out. Yeah. No. So then That's not the end of the moose. So then we go and we even had gotten our truck. It was so cold. The truck had gelled, the diesel had gelled over and had taken extra hours just to get off the hill. And the only thing that saved us is someone had actually rented out that cabin the next day when we were supposed to be leaving. Otherwise, we would have been stuck up there for who knows how long, because the truck wouldn't start. We had a fire up underneath trying to warm it up.
Right.
But thankfully, someone had rented out that cabin and came up and helped us and got on our way.
Oh, once the diesel gels up, you're fucked.
You're in trouble. There's no going back.
Thank goodness for the Airbnb turnaround, huh?
In the middle of Alaska in January. I guess we're not the only crazy ones out there.
Ma'am, do you know you have a dead teenage girl in the shitter?
Right, and I can't imagine the unsettling draft in January
and the shit's all frozen.
And outhouse that all of us ladies feel when we take a seat there. I don't know where that draft comes from.
You know it's there.
But there's something wrong going on there.
You don't hover, Jen.
Even if you hover,
I can't hover. There would have to be handles, or you think I have the legs to just squat and hover? No. I'd fall back. I'd be the one that fell in. Bad wood. I don't know.
That would be an awful ending. They could just come out to me stuck in the outhouse.
You could come out though and play a monster to your family. I'm the shit monster.
At Boy Scout camp up in Laramie, outhouses there, same thing. Been there forever. I mean, I think they probably get emptied though because there's Boy Scouts there all summer long. But yeah, the smell of an outhouse is
awful.
Yeah, it's
the smell you just won't forget.
Yeah.
Especially sitting there for 30 minutes.
And back in the day, that's all they had. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's just normal to them. Normal.
Going out in the dead of winter.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
I would hold that all night long.
So how long total do you think you were in there?
I'm telling you.
And then I think it's funny because girls usually don't take long. Your family waited a full half hour before coming to look
in there. They're just in there having their grand old time. What are you in there cooking s'mores, enjoying your hot chocolate? While I'm out here.
I think Mikayla's in there doing her taxes right now.
Right. Well, there could be a moose outside. You're thinking, nope, I'm not going anywhere. I think that is great.
Looking through the cracks like a paranoid crackhead,
that's what I was just gonna say.
Where's he at? I know I heard you.
Would you ever use it at night?
Use what? The outhouse? No.
Hell no.
No.
Would you, Jen? No, hell no.
I would hold it.
If I had to walk more than 15 feet. No. I'd be more than happy to step out the door and drop a welcoming gift for the next Airbnb renter.
Man.
That's because Generous is a classy lady. Ladies and gentlemen, classy. All class, too.
All class.
It'd probably get froze.
It depends on how cold it is. Dark. You're right. Bigfoot. No
when
thanks.
we first moved to Alaska it was Grand Junction that we were living in. They told us when we first moved there, hey, when it gets up to 0 degrees, y'all be out in your t-shirts.
Yeah.
And we didn't believe him. We're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
There's no way. We just came from cold weather. We come from the skiing and everybody does that. Oh, no. They got up to 0 degrees and they were out in their t-shirts.
Yeah.
That's a whole different kind of a cold up there.
It's levels though. Because I had a buddy who moved here from Hollywood, Florida, back in Pueblo, and man, if you get to 40 degrees outside, he was bundled up like Nanook of the West, of the North. The guy would just have 8 layers on. I'm like, man, are you good, man? He's like, it's freezing out here. I'm like, dude, it's 45 degrees.
Feels good.
This is summer weather, man.
Right.
So,
we're all wearing shorts. What's your problem?
Yeah.
Right?
But if you go back there and the humidity gets
it's
crazy.
terrible out there.
I could not imagine.
Yeah. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. They're busy upstairs. So, all right, Jen, what did you think about that story?
Well, I thought that was super. I love that you were peeking. The first thing I thought when you said peeking through the cracks was it was like a little tweaker, but you're not looking for anything weird, but a moose.
It was just looking for that damn moose.
Well, and I think that's totally believable as well because
it's huge. Well, they're big,
it's such
scary.
a realistic fear,
right?
And it could have been something way crazier than a moose.
And she was a young girl. And moose, they're mean. They are. They're
mean.
Notoriously mean. They will come after you for no reason, just because you're in their space. So I can imagine that'd be some therapy or, that's some trauma in your life, right? When you first see one, you know?
Are you still scared of moose?
No, they're my favorite animal. I think just because of being around them and seeing so many of them, and they're huge and they're like so majestic. They're beautiful animals.
Right.
No, I say that now because they're cute and stuffed and Bellas or Shields, but in person, I'd probably run for the outhouse.
Of course. Yeah.
You bet. I like to go drive Trail Ridge Road every year, and there's almost always a moose out there. And you always catch the random tourist that's not from a state where they have moose. And they got their selfie sticks out, and they got their backs turned to these moose within 5 feet. And that's when I get up my phone and just start recording. Because I'm waiting for one of them to just ram one. I'm going viral with their dumb asses,
Something's going to go down.
Yes.
You're one of those people that doesn't call 911. You videotape it first, then call 911.
Yes. Well, I've had one front on my car before. He's walking right down the middle of the road. And, of course, I stop and get my camera out, and I'm recording him. And it got irritated with me and was like going to get ready to ram my car. And I'm like, we got to get out of here now.
No. We've seen one jump a Honda Civic up in Alaska, just clear it.
Like Evel Knievel over it?
Just clear it. Wow. Oh, my goodness. There's no way.
That is crazy. That's a great
story.
Yes. And believable because, being a small child, seeing something like that size for the first time, being a grown-ass adult seeing something like that for the first time, it freaks people out. Or,
Do you have an irrational fear of an animal from your childhood?
No. I'm a dog person, but if I know the dog.
Right.
No, not really. No.
I'm terrified of all birds, and I have an irrational fear of sharks because I'm so far inland. What? Why?
You don't like birds?
No, I don't like birds. And I have lots of encounters with birds. Well, someday I'll come on the show and tell you all my encounters where birds know I don't like them and have touched me. And I had a parrot come land right on my shoulder one day when I was standing on the beach in Hawaii and almost had a heart attack. And I've been hit by an owl, knocked off of a motorcycle by an owl, and I got lots of crazy stories about birds. They know I don't like them.
Michael Black the same way, man. Kind of funny. Loki doesn't like squirrels, and he's this massive man. He's like 6'5", 410 pounds, But, he's scared of squirrels. It's hilarious. It's all he's scared of, by the way. He's not scared of anything but squirrels. He gets real like that rapey, uneasy feeling when they're around.
Okay.
It's squirrel. It's okay. I got to rub his arm like, shh.
It'll be okay.
Goose fraba, bro. Goose fraba.
I love
Go to your happy place.
Goose fraba.
All right. We got 2 stories left. Coyote in the mud and just doggy style. I always there's one I always want to hear the most. We'll save it for last. So instead, let's hear Coyotes in the Mud.
Coyotes in the Mud. All right. Let me flip my page here. Okay. So Coyotes in the Mud. So this what happened not during my uncle's wedding. That would be an awful wedding. But we were getting ready, prepping, and my grandparents owned some property up outside of Montrose, up on the Uray-Montrose border. So it's up in beautiful mountain,
up there.
A beautiful country. So, perfect wedding area. And so we were out there with my uncle, me and my younger sister, who at the time was 4. And we went out because he had taken the loader out. And my papa had big old equipment. And so we had to go clear a spot for this wedding. And so we wanted to take a ride out on this loader. Well, we're out there at this spot, clearing it out, and me and my younger sister hear some coyotes yipping. And, we're 4 and 6. And so we yip back at the coyotes. And go on about our business, pick up some sticks, fight each other with it, whatever. And lo and behold, we had called in a group of coyotes. And we turn around to see my uncle running at us with not a twig, but the tree branch, the whole branch itself swinging at us because these coyotes were just running for us.
And you're 4 and 6.
4 and 6, so
you're gonna lose.
We're gonna lose.
Yeah.
They think you're chickens in the hen house.
They're coming for us, and we looked good. So we
humble brag.
We hightailed it. I hightailed it. I had ditched my sister. And I jumped on the loader, and my uncle had gotten to the coyotes before the coyotes had gotten to us. And then I'd got my butt chewed out a little bit for running off without my sister. You know,
Right.
she's only 4. And
Right.
I mean, I'm only 6, but
Yeah.
I was a little older.
Yeah.
And so we were put on the loader, and the whole way back, you know, he would stop and he'd see a random piece of log or something, and he'd have me get off the loader to get it. And you know, me at 6-year-old, there ain't no way I'm getting off this loader.
Yeah.
There's another coyote. It's waiting for me in that bush.
Yeah,
The whole way back, I mean, I was stopping for twigs, anything. Yeah, he was making me learn my lesson not to, you know, leave your sister behind or something.
Sure.
Regardless, we got back and went on about our business. Well, the next day would have been the day before the wedding. And so we were out, and I have 6 cousins all together, and we were out doing the last finish setup for this wedding, and all the kids had found a nice little mud puddle. And we'd been drawn to it because we'd, you know, the nice tracks and everything around it of all the animals. We decided, hey, this looks fun. It's nice in that black, gross smelling mud.
Oh,
we get down there, and I was the oldest cousin there. And I had my baby cousin, and I thought it would be a really great idea to paint him in mud. In this black mud. And my cousin, who was my uncle who's getting married's youngest baby, like his baby,
Okay.
his son, he had white hair. And this was the day before their wedding. And well, when my uncle came around the corner and saw us, because the parents didn't realize that all the kids had found this mud puddle out in the middle of, you know, the forest.
Right.
And so we were all out there muddy, and well, not the older ones, just the younger ones were muddy. And my uncle came out and dunked me in the mud for dunking my cousin.
Like waterboarded you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I was still finding mud in my hair for, like, the week after.
Right. In your ears.
So,
and, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And since everyone had stood by and watched, all the cousins ended up getting muddy. So when we got back to Grandma's house, it was Grandma who ended up being mad at Uncle because her mudroom ended up being black and everything else. So we ended up having dirty kids for the wedding the next
Her
day.
mudroom was actually utilized as a mudroom
It was actually used for what it was intended for sure.
Wow.
But
And that mud stinks.
that mud,
You don't get that stink off easy.
And did it stay in the little white-haired kids' hair for the wedding?
We
A
love
lovely
watching
gray.
the wedding pictures and the wedding videos because we've got a bunch of gray-haired kids wandering around with like mud behind their ears.
And he's,
Taking that
As
four-wheeler
we
ride
turn
home.
this beautiful venue into this, well, we look like we just came off the hillbilly farm.
Right.
Crawled out of this mud puddle. How get her done?
it's and he's a towhead, right? So
Yep.
it's like the way you noticeable. It's not dark hair.
There was no going back, especially
Right.
not for the next day.
And how old is he now?
He is 24 now, or 24. Yeah, 24 now.
Wow.
So they've all grown up.
Right.
But
Is your uncle still married?
they are not married. They're no longer married. But
You might have cursed him with the mud.
it might have been the mud.
I don't want to put it on your shoulders or not, but it might have been you. Mikayla, I'm just saying.
Oh man!
You need to ask him, was it the mud? Did it start from
that's
day
a touchy
one?
subject because I was always picking on him because I was the oldest, and we were best friends, you know,
Yeah.
because we always hung out. We're always the ones doing it.
Yeah.
And I was the one always walking away with my uncle coming at me, giving me the same lesson that I had tried to teach the younger cousin, and it never worked out.
Right.
It never worked out well for me.
Right. That's funny. What'd you think about that one, Jen?
I thought that was highly entertaining.
Yeah.
That is something that I would do on purpose to people.
Yeah, go
Like,
dunk them in some mud.
I would do it totally to all my nieces if a wedding was coming up. I'd let's do something that will rock the whole family for the
I thought
wedding.
it would be a great idea, but the mud wasn't very fun. And that stuff up your nose?
Right.
I used to play in the mud all the time as a kid.
Me too.
And I'd come home with no clothes, covered with red ant bites, holding crawdads, you know,
Yeah.
holding garter snakes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were just wild farm kids. So if we
I
found a
could do
mud puddle, that was a happy day.
I do want to. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What's your uncle's name?
Chris.
Uncle Chris. Props to Uncle Chris, and here's why.
Yep.
I think it's cool that he made you pick up all the sticks in the wood to teach you the lesson about your sister. That's an important lesson to learn.
It is.
You know what I mean?
is.
And I mean, it was your basic human instinct that popped in. Like,
Right.
That's what That's why people are my friend, because they know if like a zombies or something hit, everybody's out running my ass. You know what I mean? Like,
I left my own child in the ocean.
She did too.
And said, fend for yourself when we got caught up in a riptide. He was 13 years old. And I'm like, save yourself, son.
You got this.
Yeah.
I can't save you.
He's still alive.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
You made it.
But that was a great lesson for him to teach you. And it's one you remember. You've never forgotten it.
No.
It's always, it's family first, man. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that story. And that's the part of that story I really liked. You know,
you bet.
The lesson learning.
It's a great story. You know, it's a great lesson to learn. So, because so many people,
the best memories.
Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
I've got 3 younger sisters.
Oh, so you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
All right.
All girls.
All girls.
Wow.
All of us. My poor father. The only male we had growing up was a mule, and my dad and him got along just fine.
I imagine a lot of screaming and hair pulling.
Oh, so much hair pulling. Oh, man.
Women are vicious, man.
A girl fighting sucks.
Yeah.
Like, why can't people just throw punches?
I'd rather fight men.
And everybody just pulls hair.
We can get in that I worked at that club. We're going to talk about bartending stories. That's what big one is. I would jump into a guy-on-guy fight way before 2 girls scrapping. Because,
oh no.
And especially when you're a guy my size, they don't hold back because they know they can hurt you, but they can.
They're mean.
They'll go for one of your eyes, though. I mean, they're mean as shit, you know.
One of my first fights that I'd gotten in this town, I had got my hair pulled, and it was the very first time outside of my sister pulling my hair, and us fighting, that I'd actually got my hair pulled in a fight, and I was shocked. I was just like, oh,
I like how
I didn't know what to
in
do.
This town.
I mean, well, I only say that because this is the only town.
Yeah.
But it's a shocker.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, women are vicious, man.
Hair pulling.
How'd you like that one, Genji?
I thought that was great.
I already asked. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
yes.
No, it was a great story. Like I said, I like the story. The lesson learned as well. So
lessons were learned.
Right on, Uncle Chris. So
yes.
All right, we got one left. So far, so good, Mikayla. You're doing really well, man.
Oh, thanks.
I'm enjoying this. This is the one when I read I'm a sucker for great titles on this podcast. Whenever I see a great title, that one always gets saved for the last. You know what? And I'm always right, usually. It's always usually the best one. So we'll see. Just Doggy Style.
It was just Doggy Style.
Don't let us down, sister.
Listen, this is how this all started, okay? I'd gotten off work, a lovely night a shift at work.
And this is at the Queens, right?
This was at the Queens. This did not happen at the Queens, but I'd gotten off a shift working at the Queens, yes. I'd gotten home, and this should have been my first indicator that I should have went to bed, okay? It should have been a no, Mikayla. No. I got home to my fiancé standing there in his whitey-tighties with 2 shots poured.
Whitey-tighties is super sexy. What's your fiancé's name?
Tyson.
Yes. Buy some colored underwear, man. Seriously, good Lord, brother.
There are such sexy ones out there. Come on, Tyson. Tighty whities.
We gotta find you something else, babe.
Yes.
What are you, a school teacher from the 50s? Come on, bro.
We're all gonna sing you some fancy
underpants. At least he had those on. You know, we'll give him credit for that. He was wearing underwear. Instead, it had been just a great night at work, and I figured, why not? 2 shots, we'll go to bed.
Right.
Well, the full bottle later, we moved the party into the bedroom, you know, just really trying to end the night well.
And what are you drinking? Shots of
whiskey? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for whiskey.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. So and so that's why it was the bottle, you see. I couldn't just stop with the shots.
Right.
But, we went into the bedroom and we'd been 5 minutes into it. I'm not going to hide anything about it. 5 minutes into this, and he loses his balance.
So you guys are 5 minutes in and already banging hard.
5 minutes in. Well, we'd taken the party into the bedroom, and we're 5 minutes into it.
Okay.
And and so 5 minutes, and my bed, all right, I've got a big guy. He's 6'6", all right? So everything in our house is giant size.
Right.
Okay, so my bed is up to here.
Right.
So he loses his balance, and instead of just falling by himself, he's got to do the romantic thing and try to take me with him, you know. And so
does he pull a reach around on you?
I've laid awake.
Happen so fast?
I don't know, Johnny. I don't know. I've laid awake so many nights trying to think, and then I close my eyes and it comes all back. I can't go back. So I'm So somehow this guy had gotten me from doggy style position down to the ground, and my leg is bent at an L sideways underneath the bed, and he fell right on top of it. Oof. Okay, I heard the break. The first words out of my mouth were, "Your fat ass broke my leg." Like, I mean, I was shocked, pissed,
was it a compound fracture? Did it come out of the skin?
No, it didn't. So I didn't see any blood. I didn't see anything. I just felt huge amount of pain. Huge amount of pain. And it took this guy 5 extra minutes to get me up off the ground because I'd called him fat. I sat there. I'm laying there broken. My leg is still under the bed. Like, I'm sorry. I called you fat. He's sitting there. We're drunk. Well, he's more drunk because obviously I've just been sobered up real fast. Okay, I'm sitting there. Your fat ass broke me, and he's like, "What do you mean I'm fat? We want to have that talk right now." So he finally gets me up off the ground, and he goes in to call his mom first. And then the ambulance. He calls his mom because...
Oh, is he a mama's boy?
No. He calls his mom because we've got kids. And so we can't... There you go, trying to get the microphone again.
You're good.
He tries... We wanted to keep the kids there.
You need childcare.
Yeah, I don't want to take the kids with me and be having to be like, "Listen, Doc." You know?
Or explain to him why we have to run off.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning,
right.
You know? Right. And so we call his mom and then the ambulance. And I'm still sitting in there naked. And so... I'm having to get there.
You're on the floor still?
No, he put me up on the bed. Okay. He put me up on the bed, but I'm sitting there crying, and I'm like, "Hey, you gotta get me up. We gotta get me dressed before the EMTs show up. I'm gonna know one of them, and they're gonna see me naked."
Yeah.
And so thankfully his mom shows up first, okay? And so I'm sitting in here in the bed, and he's out there still in his whitey-tighties. He's explaining to his mama what happened. And I'm in there crying, looking out the window, just desperately wishing it was the ambulance coming to my rescue. Like, please help me, just take me away. Okay, so I'm looking out the window, and I had gotten dressed. Okay, I was still crying. Okay, I'd never felt like this kind of pain. Not even birth. Okay, this was a different kind of pain. It was awful.
Right.
The ambulance EMTs show up. And Dyson had gotten dressed, and he's walking around with this damn smirk on his face. Like, this is not a smirk, but this shit-eating grin. And I just wanted to slap off his face. Like, what are you smiling for?
Well, I kind of get it. I mean, the sexual prowess knock her right off the bed.
The EMTs, dude, they show up. They're sitting there, and I'm like a mess. I've been crying, and Tyson, the EMTs are all just like, just trying not. They were very professional. They were great guys, but it was something. How could you not laugh at something like that? Like, dude, you broke your leg, fucking really?
How'd you break your leg? Well, we're having sex, and
he's all back
there with it. Oh, you just better be happy you broke my leg, and I can't get up and punch you in the nose right now. Something. Oh, so we get in this like lift thing, right? And the EMTs ask him to help carry me out to the ambulance, and I'm over here. I held onto one of the EMT's necks, like, he just fell with me off the bed. There's no way he's gonna be dropping me on the way to the ambulance, you guys. Right. So we get to the hospital. He stayed back. His mom drove him. She's a hero. She comes and helps us quite often with not things like this every time, but she's a helper. She's very helpful.
What's mom's name?
Stacy.
What's up, Stacy?
Kudos to you, Stacy.
So we finally got to the hospital, and I'm sitting there, and I had to explain to the doctor multiple times, not even just 3 times, like, no, this is what happened, this is how it went down. And they didn't believe me because due to the way that I broke my leg, I broke my tibia and my fibia.
Oh, you had broken both.
I had broken both.
Yikes.
And chipped the bottom of my kneecap.
So they thought it was abuse, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so and that's what he was explaining.
Do you feel safe at home?
Over and over, which I get. You know, there's those instances that you do need that. But I'm sitting here like, listen, that's not what this is.
Right.
This is that. It was... We were fucking, like, this is very far from that.
Yeah.
And they didn't believe me until he walks in with that same damn smile on his freaking face. Stumbles in like his 6'6", 300 self. What's up? I'm here. And the doctor, oh, okay. And then they got it.
I could just see it, too, come walking in with a strut. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Man, I just sat there like I wanted to cover my face. Like, yeah, no, that's the one. Yeah, he's with me.
I love it.
Oh, it's not the best way to get off.
I like the fact you survived a moose attack, but yet the sex is where that's where you get in trouble.
Not the best way to get off. Okay, now with you saying that, did you?
It was 5 minutes into it. That's what it was.
No.
I was at key points at the very beginning. 5 minutes into it. I'm not gonna have 5 minutes.
Does he know you're gonna tell this story?
Well, if he doesn't, he does now.
We love you, Tyson.
Sorry,
love you, Ben.
Congratulations, in a weird sort of way.
No.
I get your shit-eating grin.
Those doctors, I mean, that's probably the weirdest shit they've seen.
Oh, no. Can you imagine all the stuff that they hear the stories about? This is how this ended up in my ass.
If it's bad for a bartender, dude, could you imagine what it could be like for a doctor?
So at one point in time, when this podcast first started, Pierre Carrillo came on, and he has a story about having sex, pulling out, and when he shoots, he gets in his own eye.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yes.
It burns.
So when he goes to the doctor, they just will not believe. They think that he's been gaying it up.
That's funny. It's my own semen. It's like, my own.
I shot myself in the eye, and they're like, listen,
you need to calm down.
call your boyfriend.
Stop peeking in the glory holes.
He tells the story. Well, so he's got, like you said, they're like, is this abuse? He's like, you're like, no. They're like, this isn't yours. He's like, it's mine, you know, so.
Oh, and ouch. I mean, to anybody out there who hasn't experienced this, and as far as I'm concerned, you guys, eyes, mouth, it's all a no-no.
I'm proud to say I can't relate to the story, so no, I'm good. I'm all good. Man. Not even Pierre's way. I'm not that much of a man, so it's not bullshit. So.
Oh, no.
Well, Jen, what did you think about that story?
So, I got to tell you, this was the question I asked her. She came in on the crutches, but she didn't have a cast on. So I was like, what is this girl doing? Yeah. So that is what I asked her. I was like, what's up with your leg? And she said, I'm getting over a broken leg and I'm babying it. And I said, how'd you break your leg? And she goes, well, my boyfriend and I were being intimate. And I'm like, stop.
No more. Yeah, she stopped me right then. And she's like, you got to come on the podcast.
Yes.
Like, okay.
So I did hear the beginnings of the story, but I do not know if it is her Bullhucker story because I stopped her and knew she'd be great for this show. And turns out, I was right.
Do you have one in mind?
I do have one in mind.
You have one in mind?
Do you?
Yeah. Oh. So do I, actually. I do have one in mind. Yes. But I have a weird way of knowing one. So
I as well.
Okay.
I'm picking mine because of the way that I've gotten beat the past couple of times. I'll get into it here in a minute. So I've suffered some pretty bad defeats lately on this podcast.
Have you? I haven't listened lately.
Yeah.
I'll have to to do a re-catch up.
Okay. So we're gonna pick now. Mikayla, when we pick to see which one of us has to guess first, we rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's a fair way to do things.
Right. How do you rock, paper, scissors?
1, 2, 3, show.
You're a 4-pumper.
You're a 4-pumper.
Well, I am.
Yep.
That's a lot for 5 minutes. So, okay.
You ready?
We're going to 4-pump.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh, we're 4-pumping?
She's a 4-pump. We 4-pump.
All right, we got this.
I'm going to count these pumps. Ooh.
Yeah.
I've been getting my ass kicked like that,
4-pumper in my favor.
Before we start guessing, though, I do want to say thank you to the Brush Emporium once again for letting us have the studios here in their basement. They give us the space to do it. It's very, very kind of them. If you haven't checked out the Brush Emporium, please come down and check this out. It's a great place. Like we said, 38 vendors in here. Anything from clothing to jewelry to they have noodles, freeze-dried candies. They have toys.
Super fancy, beautiful cowboy boots, you guys.
The boot store is amazing up there.
You ladies who like those fancy boots, they're up there and beautiful.
Go look at
go look around everything. Absolutely. They have stuff you can get custom made up there. Everything you can imagine. Also, while you're here, grab a pizza, some wings. Like I said, frozen yogurt. They have actual regular ice cream and funnel cakes now. So they're doing so much here, and they're so busy all the time. And fundamentally, it's for people who really love this town. And they started this business, and I guarantee they had no clue they'd be this busy.
Yeah.
They had so many pizza ovens.
I've heard a lot about him.
Yeah, they've had to double the amount of pizza ovens they have just because they couldn't keep up, you know.
That's awesome.
Because they do a great job and they're great people. So it's a winning.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, and they have a podcast in the basement. So, and once again, if you do enjoy the podcast while you're in a mood to help out, in the bottom right hand corner, bottom right hand corner of the screen, there's a little red dot. That's our subscribe button. Go ahead and push that subscribe button to support the podcast. That's on YouTube. If you're listening to this on any platform, please. Follow us on the iHeartRadio, Stitcher, wherever, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Please leave a rating and review. Also, we do appreciate that. Jen will high five you in public if she sees you. So,
I will totally high five you in public.
Not in the face.
Not in the face. Not in the face.
That's right. I'll keep it out of your eyes.
And she grabs your hand at first a little bit, like it's a little weird, but then you're into it. So I can't explain it.
Just go with it.
Just go with it.
Just let it run.
I'm all about the human contact.
And you haven't Janet Jackson this yet, so that's
I have not. Disappointed. Everything's intact.
You've done real well. So all right. So now that I got the whoring all done.
Yes, the whoring is over.
Nah, I like that. These are such great people. So we have 3 great stories: Moose in the outhouse, coyotes in the mud, and just doggy style. Now, I think Moose in the outhouse is a true story. Pretty simple story, but I mean, it's obviously one that's memorable to you. And a lot of people might relate to that from Alaska or just in wildlife in general. So I believe that's a true story. Coyotes in the mud, I also think is a true story because that seemed like a cherished memory of yours. You know, something that you remember and it kind of makes you happy on the inside, right? Just doggy style. The reason I'm picking this is because it's a true story. It's a little embellished at the end. I believe you might have got lucky for 5 minutes. I believe you probably did break something. I think some of it at the end was probably embellished. I'm praying to Christ the whitey tidy thing is embellished. I hope you just do that.
Are you saying the 5 minutes is embellished? My Tyson.
I'm just saying, Tyson.
He's over. Please be the 5 minutes.
I'm trying to help you out, brother. I'm trying to be on your side on this one, bro. But I'd like to think he didn't smirk at you in the exact, like high-fiving nurses and be like, you know what she's in there for? She couldn't handle a little Big Papa. That's what's going on. So
that is so. Do you know Tyson? No.
I might. If I don't
like Tyson.
If I don't know Tyson, I know a Tyson. Trust me. I got friends with a lot of guys. So.
We all know a Tyson.
So I'm going to take just doggy style. Jen, what you got, sister?
Okay, I have a difference of opinion here. I totally believe Moose in the outhouse because, being in an outhouse, unsettling. Moose, terrifying. 10 years old, yikes. And there's that trip between you and safety that is, when you're in a strange place, is ultimately a little scary as well.
Right.
Just doggy style. I don't want to believe that not one part of this story is not true. I just don't want to believe it, and I want to meet Tyson one day. I'm going to go with coyotes in the mud. And my reason for being is because I grew up running the creek bottom out here at the Bijou Creek, and there were packs of coyotes everywhere. And I never once, as a child or an adult, met up with a coyote that wasn't more scared of me than I was of him.
Okay.
Or them. So, that is why I'm going to go with coyotes. I don't think that you were approached by coyotes at any time. I think they'd be scared. Granted, I think you could call them in and they'd be curious, but I don't think they would even try to approach somebody unless if you were literally like a chicken or they knew they could get into a hen house or something like that. So that is why I'm going to go with coyotes in the mud.
I wish you'd went first. I think you might be right, but I'm going to stay with mine. I'm gonna do it just doggy style. So I'm taking just doggy style. You're taking coyotes in the mud. Let's see your board there, Miss Mikayla.
All right.
Yeah.
What's not true about it?
So the part that's not true about it, there were coyotes.
Let me just point out first that she misspelled. I'm going to be the grammar police here.
Oh,
she misspelled coyotes, you guys.
But she spelled it right on the list, so we're good.
Although that's how coyotes should be spelled.
Yeah, I do have it spelled right.
You do, but it should be spelled just like that.
Yeah. Coyote.
I'm seeing coyotes.
So what's not true about it?
So the only part that's not true about this story is that it was my sister who's the mean one that threw my cousin in the mud, not me.
Wow. So you really were.
Yes, there were really like 3 coyotes coming at us.
Coyotes was coming for you.
And there were the loader, me and my sister, the coyotes coming down the hill, and my uncle running down the hill right behind them with the tree branch.
Right.
So like he was over in this area when they were coming down here. The loader was right here. So we were just getting on, and they were scared of the uncle coming at them with the branch, but they were coming in hot.
Wow.
Yeah, I was terrified.
And that's very uncommon of coyotes,
right?
But if they're
small children though,
if there is enough in a pack,
and that's what it was, the pack. So but it was my sister that was the mean one, tossing all the kids in the.
Isn't that amazing how the tiniest thing can change everything?
Just a little.
I'm getting my ass kicked this year. I picked
that. A rough one.
Admitting
really
defeat.
Doggy style, puppy.
So J.D. Gordon changed my life on this podcast that way. His story that if you watch it, did you watch this episode?
Don't call me ma'am, or who you call me ma'am. Yeah.
The Bullhucker, I was convinced was a true story. Like, I didn't even consider it to be the Bullhucker.
I haven't heard his yet. Okay, I'll have to go listen to it.
Matt Gordon starts screaming, and they had to come down and see if he was okay because he got it right. Matt got lucky and got it right.
So, now are Matt and JD related?
No, different Gordons. I think.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but they're going to look into it, so they say. So, Moose in the Outhouse is a true story.
It is a true story, yep. Yeah. And I even had another encounter with a moose after that. So I had 3 encounters with moose while living in Alaska. So
that's crazy.
It was definitely...
Wow.
Just doggy style is a true story.
It's a true story, every bit about it. And it is one way to break your leg. Like, I mean...
One way. One good way.
It's not... Is it, though?
I think so. I mean,
no, because that's one horse you just can't get on.
But how many people go, well, I was drunk and I fell and I broke my leg? At least yours has some stuff.
I was drunk.
You're like...
and fell off the bed.
I was getting banged really well and got knocked off of a bed.
So what's even better about that story is that working down at the bar, I've got, a couple older patrons that come in, and with these guys, you don't expect to hear certain things coming out of their mouths, right? So I had this gentleman, a good friend, come up to me, and he says quietly...
Can we have a first name?
It was Larry.
Okay.
He came up to me and he said, well, not this, but he said, so, I heard you broke yourself in a sex swing. I said, Larry, had there been a sex swing, I probably wouldn't have broken myself.
I like how rumors get started.
I hadn't even, that was the first time that I had gone into work to go in after breaking myself because I haven't been able to work.
Right.
And so this is the first time going in after breaking myself, and that's what I heard. So it was great. It was really great.
My favorite part about that story is, like I said, I bartended for many years in Pueblo, the nightclub. And the part where you get home, not the tidy whitey thing, thank Jesus, but where you're like, you know what? I'm not nearly drunk enough. I should probably just start getting shit-faced right now. It's 2 in the morning, right? But you work nights.
Might as well watch the sun come up.
I never made it that long. I've never made the sun coming up ever.
You never strip down to your tidy whities and watch the sunrise? Do you wear tidy whities?
No,
Let's get into the deep stuff
but they're
here.
tidy because I'm a fat guy, so there's nothing loose, But no, tidy whities, buddy. I'm trying to have your back here, bro. I'm trying to help you out, but but no, I don't. I haven't seen them in a while, so God bless you. You know what I mean?
If anybody wants to send Tyson some fancy underwear,
no.
Hit us up. We'll get you the address.
We'll get some tidy whities. Or not tidy whities.
We'll get some new tidy whities.
We'll get some better ones with a little color.
What's your favorite part about bartending, Mikayla?
That's hard. Probably the people.
Yeah.
Probably the people on the other side.
Right.
That's probably my favorite part.
That's cool.
That's how I've made some of my best friends.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Those people that are coming in to get away from their life are helping you get away from the life that you're there for. So you bond and you meet some great people that way.
Yeah. You know, I like bartending because it's just a whole different world too, right?
Oh, it is.
A whole different type of class of people, you know? Mm-hmm. It is. So the nightclub I worked at, there was 5 bartenders, 3 bar backs.
And yours was in Pueblo, right?
Yeah. And it's funny, we always joke around about Pueblo, but I met some of my longest friends there ever. You know, I just had a birthday here in July. My friend Alicia always sends me a birthday card, and I text her today and tell her what a great friend you are. And I don't do it for her, which I need to start, Lucia. I love you, Lucius. But just friends I made for life, you know, in that bar. Yeah. And it was fun because you all ran in the same pack, you know, and in Pueblo it was fun. There was a place called Hoches, and on Monday nights it was basically like service night. To where people that worked in bars all over the town would come there
together.
and hang out. It was badass. And the big cat band would play.
Oh, that's very cool.
It was very cool because there was no problems in that bar.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of people who've dealt with this bullshit all weekend long. You know, dealt with fights and drunks and shit.
Just coming together for a good time.
And what a great night to share stories.
Yeah, and we were drunks. We were the drunks that night, you know what I mean? But it was a good time. So I loved my bartending years, you know.
It's fun. It's a blast.
Yeah, it's crazy. Have you ever had a drink named after you?
A drink named...
or a drink that you've made that has become popular? I have.
I've made a couple... when I was working over at Cables, I've made a couple drinks for them that we had fun with. They've got a great drink. And there's one that I noticed. I don't know if it would be the same drink, but there was one still on there, which was pretty cool. But everywhere you go, you know.
What was it?
The pineapple upside down mojito.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, and I've had it, and it's so good.
Oh yes, that was like...
What's in it?
Forever ago. Muddled pineapple and mint, and then you use like either a pineapple rum and pineapple juice with a splash of Sprite.
Wow.
Yum.
Yeah.
How very good. Tropical.
You put like amaretto, I think, in it too.
I could see one named after you called the Mikayla Marcoe, and somehow we make it blue and oceany and very fruity and tropical and fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That makes me think of an ocean water.
Right, but very boozy and elevated to be fabulous.
That would be good.
I had one named Sir Lawrence that we used to make all the time.
Is it still up there?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
What's in it? The Sir Lawrence. Why Sir?
I was going to call it the Green Goliath or the Jade Giant, but Eric Segal, what's up, Eric? Hope you're doing good, buddy. It's been years. Said, fuck that, name it the Sir Lawrence. And I just liked it. I was like, all right.
That's pretty cool.
It was 151, apple pucker, a little bit of club soda, and a little bit of 7-Up on top.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man.
See, and if I was going to go with the name Sir Lawrence, I would be doing like some sort of Bloody Mary with some A1 steak sauce added to it, like a sirloin steak.
I hate that. And anyway. Have you ever had to like kick people out? Have you ever had to drag people out of there and all that stuff?
Yeah. That's some of the best times. Yeah. You know, I mean, not the best, but they're fun times.
Right.
Kicking the people out, being the bouncer and the bartender.
Right. I'll tell you a quick story. We got to get going. We got to wrap up. We were at an hour, but this is a story when I started this podcast. It was one of my 3 stories I was going to tell on my own personal podcast here. About girl fighting. You just brought it back up.
Right.
My buddy Kelly, we lost him a couple of years ago. What's up, Kel? Mm-hmm. Heavenly hello, buddy. So it was a long bar when he first walked in. There was 2 corner bars. I was on the one by the women's restroom. He was by the munchie bar. And we were bartenders. We had 2 bar backs. This huge fight breaks out. This massive fight. All these cholos just start getting it on, right? So the bouncers are hauling these guys out, just hauling them out. What happens then? All their girlfriends start fighting, right?
Yeah.
And these, I was like, son of a
And that's
bitch.
That's a really mean fight.
It.
So I look at Jared, my bar back, and I go, shit, I'll be back. You know, so I go walking out there, and I see Kelly coming the other way, right? And Kelly don't fucking play around. He doesn't give a shit, you know?
Yeah.
And they had high chairs, right, in the bar everywhere. So they're scrapping. This one girl falls down. The other one climbs up on the chair and drops an elbow on this other bitch.
No.
Yeah, driver.
I mean, body
I have
slam.
not seen that.
Yeah, she jumped off and landed on her. And I remember my eyes just lit. I was like, oh my God. And Kelly was not impressed because I go, did you see that? And Kelly grabs her by the leg and drags her out caveman style. Like in the movies, like where there's horror movies, like where they're being drugged into the darkness and they're just clawing to stay in. No, Kelly doesn't care. He's dragging his bitch out. I'm not tough. Especially with women, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm just trying to pull him off, and I'm like, come on, stop it, knock it out. Finally, I'm like, he's coming back. He's coming back, goddammit. And I was like, because Kelly just tossed her for distance out the back door. But that chick, I mean, to drop an elbow on somebody, I'm like, good for you. That was...
Yeah. That's badass.
I've never thought about it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta find a short one because I can't jump.
You have to either get up on a bar stool or something.
Yeah. They were high chairs, yeah. And cholas are mean, bro. Cholas are straight up
very.
mean.
You don't want to mess around.
And you get all the black marks on your arm from wrestling with them because their eyebrows come, when you rub against it. All that damn Sharpie mark, it gets all over you. You're like, God damn it.
It's a whole other
If
cleanup.
you gotta go to the hospital, you gotta explain we got eyebrow-shaped bruises on your forearms.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a bruise. That's fake
eyebrow.
eyebrow.
That's some chick's eyebrow, but she came at me, bud.
You've got the perfect print.
Oh, but
She face planted me when I tried to clothesline her, but she was shorter than I thought.
Right, dude. I tell you what, it was a lot of fun. So also tip your bartenders, right? Take care of your
bartenders.
Always, they work so hard.
They'll take care of you. You take care of them.
And that's
both ways.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, it's hard to get that through to people sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember there's a guy, Wade Ridley. Now he's a comedian. He's come down here, but he owned a business down there. So whenever he came to the bar, I don't care if he's 5 deep, I'd get him because it was a $20 tip.
Yeah.
And then people would always be like, "Why did he get served first?" I'm like, "Boom, that's why." You know what I mean? I didn't get caught jaywalking, and I'm here for serving my public service people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my job.
Yeah. Yeah. Tipping not a place in China, right? So yeah. Anyway, Mikayla, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, this was fun.
Definitely, this has been an absolute joy. I'm glad I told you to shut up at the bar so I could hear your story in this
I was sitting there
forum.
kind of like, rude. Okay. What? But a podcast? Well, fine, I guess.
Yeah. You said you were nervous at first, though, a little bit.
I was nervous. Yeah, I was a little bit nervous jumping into it.
Yeah. Would you come back and do this again?
I would.
Yeah.
Then we would
It's
be
so
able
much
to
fun.
get more stories.
That is a good time. So I always ask that at the end of the podcast because sometimes people just won't come do it because they're nervous about it.
Yeah.
But then once it's over, right? It's a good time. So
over and fun.
So when are you gonna go back to work?
Hopefully in September.
Yeah.
I've been out since February, so it's been a hot minute for me.
Oh wow. What's the Queens have going on right now?
But what doesn't the Queens have going for them?
Right,
The Queens is a fun hopping bar.
Right.
I also heard that they're equipped all to do karaoke, so you might see some karaoke nights coming up here soon.
Yep, that's what karaoke. We've been trying to throw out some game nights. We've been it's a whole place. There's a whole bunch of
and it looks great down there. HGTV. It's not quite the same aesthetic that we know as the Queens. But that new addition they have down there really does look super, that HGTV did.
Nick's working on a golf stimulator or something of the sort.
A golf stimulator?
I think you meant simulator.
Simulator. Because I am fully interested in a golf. Can the golf simulator hurt you as bad as Tyson can?
Oh, no.
Hey, Nick Granson,
Sorry, Nick. Sorry, Nick.
Can you quit rubbing your golf balls, please?
No.
That stays in.
Can we cut that out?
Are you talking about like a full-on like AR, like virtual reality?
Yeah, he's got
Nice.
something. Well, now I'm afraid to say anything else.
No, it's going to be a secret. You'll have to wait for the Queens to roll it out.
Do they have certain nights to do certain things, or is it just every night's?
Well, right now they've been rolling with like every other Thursday. That's not a set schedule. That's probably something that we're going to be throwing out there a lot more of.
Right.
Everything's been just so up and about right now. So once we get things up and going, and
cool. As a matter of fact, on the description below, we'll put the Queen's Facebook link there, so you can always follow them on Facebook because I'm sure
check us out.
They're pretty good about posting their stuff. I see it from time to time.
Oh yeah,
so.
Nick's always getting some stuff up there. We're always doing something. If it's not a DJ, it's game night, karaoke night.
Right. That's awesome, man. And it looks It looks good.
It does look good.
I don't go to the bar too much anymore because I'm an old man.
Well, you'll have to come check it out.
I will come check it out. When you come back, I will come get a drink from you.
Yes, you better. I'll be the one hobbling, with the limp behind the bar, but...
And I might be down there one night KJing.
There you go. That would be fun.
I got a little intel.
Bartender fell off a swing. A sex swing. So I'll start spreading that fucking rumor anyway. Mikayla, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks,
thank you.
Fun.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Generous, Janeb.
Until next time. Peace.